Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Syracuse here. I'm bringing you guys a MLB 2K12 gameplay. It's been a long time since I've been able to upload anything from MLB 2K12. I've been really busy, but watching opening day the other day, I was like, oh man, I was starting to get that baseball crave, and I was like, so put the game in, man. I was loving it. I played maybe 4 or 5 games. This is the kid took the Yankees. I usually let my opponents pick the teams, and I try to match up. The Yankees, man, it's really hard to match up against the Yankees. So usually I take the Rangers because I mean it's 2 good teams. But this is just 1 inning from that game. It's one of the biggest innings I had. The kid he hit like 3 home runs that were like so far out of the strike zone. I was just frustrated. But anyways, the purpose of this video was I was going to give my MLB predictions for this year. They were my own personal predictions. They're very debatable. If you guys don't agree with what I say, or feel free in the comments to debate with me, man. I have no problem with that. I'm very open-minded. I'm not one of those fans that just won't accept people disagreeing with me. I'm not like that. So with that being said, the first division that I like to give my own predictions on is the AL East. Down at the bottom, I don't see anybody. You know, it's the Orioles, man. I'm sorry. There's nobody other than the Orioles. That division is actually so strong. I actually think the Orioles are going to have a decent year, especially with Buck Showalter. He seems to be doing a great job. He kind of reminded me of what Joe Madden did with the Rays. You know, he's starting to get that discipline, those young kids. He's establishing that foundation, and I'm telling you what, if I'm an Oriole fan, I think in the next 2 or 3 years you're gonna see some noise from those guys. They're just waiting. 4th place, I have the Blue Jays. They just don't have the pitching, the offense, and it's really sad because they really have a good team. 3rd place, Red Sox. I'm sorry, just too much chaos going on, and there's just a bad vibe from that whole team, and I just don't think that it's gonna work out very well for them. 2nd place, I have the Yankees. They're starting to get old. It's not there. I don't know. They're definitely gonna make the playoffs as one of the wild cards. There's 2 wild cards this year. If you guys don't know that, the 2 wild cards end up playing each other in a 1-game series, which I really don't agree with, and the winner goes ahead and plays whoever. And winning the division, I have the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, who I think this year are they're gonna win the division by 3-4 games. That's my prediction. Moving on to the AL Central, I have the 3 teams at the bottom. I really don't. You probably mix them in any order, but I have Minnesota last, Kansas City 4th, and the Cleveland Indians 3rd. They're not going to compete. Then you have the White Sox, and I have the White Sox in 2nd behind the Tigers, who I think are just going to torch that division, walk away with it. They'll be up by like 10, 15 games late in the year, and the division will be over. Moving on to the AL West, you have Oakland and Seattle at the bottom. I think Seattle's a better team, so I think they'll finish 3rd. Oakland, just too many young kids, not enough talent. And then at the top, you have I have Texas winning the division over the LA Angels. Angels made a lot of moves this year, but it's the same thing. I just don't think that those pitchers can withstand the long season. And the Rangers is just so stacked on offense that if they get decent pitching, they're going to win that division. So I have the Rays winning the East, Tigers winning the Central, and the Rangers winning the West, with the Yanks and Angels as the wild card. Moving on to the NL East, I think that also is just like the AL East, is one of the strongest divisions in baseball. There's so many good teams. Unfortunately, I have the Mets finishing last. There's too many questions there for me to. They do have the capability to win a division, or at least make the wild card, but I really don't see it happening. I think it's a very slim chance, especially when they lose Jose Reyes and you don't really replace him with anybody. 4th in the division, I have the Braves. I just think that some of the guys are getting old. There's just too many changes. You know, with Bobby Cox being away for this is his 2nd year being away, things are starting to change. They're not the same. So I think but like I said, you could take I think the second, third, and fourth team in the NL East, and you could just, it don't matter. They're really, all three of them are just as good as one another. Third, I have the Miami Marlins. They made a lot of offseason moves this year. A ton. They spent a ton of money, but I'm just not sold on the pitching. I'm not a big Mark Burley fan. He's, and Josh Johnson, just, you don't know if he's going to stay healthy. There's just, in their offense, that stadium is so huge. It's built for speed and base hits. I'm just not sure where I can predict them to do any better than that right now. Second place, I have the Washington Nationals, and a lot of people are really stoked on them. A lot of young kids that are, it's back in the old days when they were the Expos, and they started making some noise with, for you guys that remember, like Delino DeShields, Moises Alou, Vladimir Guerrero, young kids that are starting to make a name for themselves. And I think that they got the pitching with Strasburg. So I have them finishing second and actually making the wild card and winning the division. I don't know how you can pick anybody else other than the Phillies right now unless they get hurt. If the Phillies stay healthy, they should win the division hands down by maybe, 5-6 games at least. Moving on to the NL Central, I think it's one of the worst divisions in baseball in my opinion, especially with all the offseason changes with them, the Brewers losing Fielder and the Cardinals losing Pujols. So right now, the bottom three, I think you could exchange in any certain way, but I had the Cubs, the Astros, and the Pirates. The top three, I had Milwaukee finishing third and Cincinnati finishing second. Both those teams could probably flip-flop, and then I have the Cards winning the division, but I just think it's the division's so weak that the Cardinals are just a better team, and they're going to win that division pretty easy. Then you have the NL West, where I have Colorado and San Diego at the bottom. I just don't believe that they have what it takes to compete with any of those other teams. And these other three teams, I think you really don't know. I mean, you have San Fran, who was doing really well last year till Buster Posey got hurt. You have Arizona, who excelled last year and really showed a great team effort. And then you have the LA Dodgers, who, with Magic Johnson and all these other, you don't know what they're going to do. So I actually had the Dodgers finishing third, and I think the Giants in Arizona right up there fighting for that first spot. But I think San Fran with their pitching is just going to outdo it. But it's very debatable. I think you can flip-flop on those teams. Either or, whichever team doesn't win, I think will make the wild card. So I have the Phillies, Cardinals, Giants winning it with the Nationals, and Diamondbacks with the wild card. And for the World Series, I actually have the Yanks playing the Phillies and the Yankees winning it because I just think it's their turn. They're all getting old, and this is like their last hurrah, and I really think they're going to put it together. So I have the Yanks winning it all against the Phillies, and but like I said, it's early in the season. It's very debatable. So post in the comments what you guys think. If you agree, disagree, any sort of debates you'd like to talk about, be sure to hit it up in the comments or hit me up in Twitter. My Twitter is in the top of the my YouTube page. Just hit that, follow me, and send me a message, and I'm very active with all my subs. So hope you guys enjoyed this little prediction video, and I'll be sure to put some more up in the near future. Thanks for watching. Peace.
And a shot here, Russell Martin, 2 down. Try it again here, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here's a swing and a liner to left center. And that's going to be another hit for them.
What more do you need to see? Now you have to question his confidence. Giving up 3 straight hits. Not much going right out there at this point. You can feel the pressure in the moment here in the stadium right now. Brett Gardner's going to have to use that speed to his advantage.
He singled in his. Gardner grounds it. Moreland handling it. And he'll step on first to retire the side.